Yeah. Good evening, all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So today I discuss about
sir, I'm Vidyut Acharya from Kolkata. Actually, sorry, sir, I can't reach home because I'm the service person. So I
okay.
can't miss the yesterday class, sir.
Okay. So today from the today like Python is going to start, right? Basics of Python. Yes.
Okay. And would you tell me in brief within 2 to 3 minutes what class is there, what the demo class is going on into yesterday?
Yesterday, no, it's just I was showing you some sample codings of Python, right? Please be in mute, right? I'm getting sounds from you.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
So yesterday, just I was showing you some sample codings, right, of Python, how simple the Python statements look like. So if you missed that, you will be getting in the chart after 10 minutes, they'll paste the video of yesterday's, right? Already, if you to your mail IDs, you can check, right? You should have got the link, video link. Otherwise, now in the chart panel, after 10-15 minutes, they will post it in the chart panel. If anyone has missed yesterday's session, right? This I've just discussed sample Python codings, how simple it looks, right? Yes. But I didn't discuss anything related to this Python basics. From today, I'm going to start, right? From today, the course is going to start, right, with the Python software foundation. Before I go with the, I'll go with Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes, right? Python software foundation, PSF, we say, right? Something about this PSF. It is a non-profit organization, non-profit organization, right? Yes. Devoted towards Python community, devoted towards Python community. It was launched in the year, it was launched in the year 2001. The main objective of this PSF to faster the development of Python. Version to version to faster the development of Python, right? Yes. In the year 2005, right? Python Software Foundation received Computer World Horizon Award. Computer World Horizon Award, right? And the president for this, who is the president? Nothing but the personality who introduced or who developed Python. The same personality is the president for this, the name Guido van Rossum. The personality who introduced or who developed Python, Guido van Rossum, is the president for this PSF, right? Official website. Python.org. Official website, right? Python.org. Official website of Python. From where we can download Python, from where we can see the documentation for Python, right? And where are the headquarters located? Headquarters of this PSF is Delaware. US. Okay, next. So, non-profit organization launched in the year 2001. President is Guido van Rossum, headquarters in Delaware. Official website python.org. Yes. Python versions. So before I go with the installation, right? Python versions. Python versions, right? Yes, Python 1.x version. Python 1.x version released in the year 1989. Python 2.x version. Python 2.x version released in the year 2000. The version that what we are using currently, 3.x, released in the year 2008. Latest version of Python, right? Python 3.11. The version what we are using, the 3.11. Stable version of Python. Python 3.9. Stable nothing but mostly used version. Mostly used version, right? Yes. Okay. So that is something about the Python versions. Next, like Python installation. So I'll just show you from the scratch ground level at how to download, how to install these things, right? Yes. Go to this apps, apps and features. Check where your Python is available here, right? I'll uninstall this Python 3.11.4. That is the latest version. I'll uninstall again. I will reinstall, right? Yes. I'm uninstalling Python from my system, right? So Python provides different softwares for different environments, right? For Windows, for Linux and Mac OS. For Linux, no need of any installation. For Linux, no need of any installation, right? By default, along with Linux, we get Python as an inbuilt, right? Yes. We get as an inbuilt. No need of separate installation. Whatever Linux flavor you are using, whether Red Hot Linux or CentOS or Ubuntu, Python comes as default within that. But for Mac OS or for Windows, we need to install it. We need to download and we need to install it. So again in Windows, Python provides two softwares for 32-bit Windows, for 64-bit Windows. How will you check whether your Windows is a 32-bit or 64-bit? Yes, I'm just minimizing it. Let the installation go. So just I will File Explorer, right click and say File Explorer, open this. Computer and say properties. Right click this properties. What is the system type? 64-bit operating system. My operating system is a 64-bit operating system. So you need to download 64-bit Python software. Download 64-bit Python software. Okay. So how will you check here? Right click on this PC and say properties. 64-bit operating system. 64-bit operating system, right? Okay. Now uninstallation was successful, right? Yes. Now I'll show you the Python installation, right? Yes. So just go to this Google, right? Open Google, right? Chrome browser. What is the official website of Python? Yes. Python.org. Python.org, right? Official website for Python. Sorry, there is a small typo in Python, right? www.python, python.org. So it opens Python. You can see this downloads folders, right? Downloads, all releases, right? Within that all releases, scroll down to the bottom. Scroll, don't go for active Python releases. Don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific release. So just 6 days back, Python. See here, you can see all the Python versions from the last 20 years. From last 20 years, you can see all the Python versions. 2.0.1, June 22, 2001. Just scroll here, just to go up. The latest version of Python, 3.11.5. 3.11.5. August 24, right? 3.11.5, right? Click it. Click this 3.11.5. Yes. 3.11.5 gets opened. Yes. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. So just what we did up to now, python.org you open, go to the downloads folder. In that, go to the specific release and select Python 3.11.5. So here Windows installer. One second, one second. Okay. Can you see here? Okay. Once again, I show you. Anyone, www.python.org, python.org, right? Within this python.org, here downloads will be there, right? In that all releases, click all releases, right? In that all releases, just scroll down. Don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. In that 3.11.5, August 24, 2023. Just 6 days back, it was released, right? 3.11.5. You can just click it. Yes. Python 3.11.5, August 24, 2023, the release date. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. Yes. This is for Mac OS 64-bit Universal Installer. Mac OS 64-bit Universal Installer. And for Windows Installer 32-bit, Windows Installer 64-bit. Windows Installer 64-bit. Click it. Yes, your download started. Can you check here? Here, download Python 3.11.5, 24.7 MB, right? What is the size? 24.7 MB. 24.7 MB. So Python has got 89,300 inbuilt modules for various environments or domains. All those modules you are not going to get along with this Python software. Only like hundreds of modules, which are mostly used or commonly used modules only you see along with this Python software. Remaining all we need to separately download and install by using a component called PIP, preferred installer program. Later I discuss about that pip, but as of now the Python size is 24 MB, 24.7 MB, right? Yes, almost the download is done. Yes, it's completed. So just click that exe file or go to the downloads folder or click this exe file. You will get this window, right? Yes, you will get this window. Python window, installer window you get. So before you go with the installation, right? First, before you go for install Python, okay, you have downloaded it. Before you want to install it, check this add Python to path variable of OS. Add Python to path variable of OS and go for customize installation. Go for customize installation, right? So by default, everything are pre-selected. By default, everything are pre-selected. All these are pre-selected. Nothing to select. Documentation, pip, ideally, just say next. So here also all are selected. All are selected means this whichever required. And here if can you see the installation location where it is getting installed. Installation location where it is getting installed, right? Yes. In C users Dell app data local programs Python 311, right? Somewhere in some subdirectories it is getting installed. Tomorrow if you want tomorrow if you want to install tomorrow if you want to locate Python where it is available, it is too difficult, right? It is installed in some subdirectories. Yes. So keep your mouse here before 3 point and remove all this, right? C:/Python 311. C:/Python 311, right? Yes. So within this Python 311, a folder has to be created with this name. With this name, a folder has to be created. Within this folder, right? Will be installing Python. Just say install. So Python 311, nothing but 3.11. So hardly it takes 1 minute to install Python. So once it is installed, let us check whether it is properly installed or not, right? Yes. Okay, fine. Setup was successful. Just close it. After this is installed, right? In the search in the bottom, type CMD to go to the command prompt, right? Yes. Type CMD and go to the command prompt and just say Python. If you enter Python, right? Python version has to be displayed and Python interpreter should be opened. Can you see 3.11.5? The Python version and the interpreter 3 arrow symbol has to be opened. Here you can type any valid Python statements. 4 plus 5. I'm asking Python what is 4 plus 5. Yes. 43 into 27. What is the value? X is 10. Y is 4. What is X? What is Y? What is X plus Y? What is X minus Y? What is X into Y? What is X by Y? X into 2, 10 into 2. X to the power of 2, 10 square. X equal to hello, right? Hello into 3 prints hello for 3 times. So in this way, any valid Python statements you can type. And if you want to come out of this Python interpreter, right, say quit. Okay, so Python is installed successfully. And people who are working in Linux environment, no need to install, right? By default, every Linux will have Python as an inbuilt. So, but if you want the latest version of Python to be installed in your Linux machine, so you can just go with this command. So everything you are supposed to install from the root user in Linux, sudo you say apt-get install Python 3.11, right? That's it. It will install Python 3.11, right? In your Linux machine. This command is enough. Okay. Next is Python execution modes. Python execution modes. Two modes of execution. Two modes of execution. Python execution modes, two modes of execution. What is that? Interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode and batch mode. Interactive mode, right here. Just now I was showing you, right? We can statement by statement, we can interact, right? Here we directly type Python statements. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact. Here we directly type Python statements on the interpreter and the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. What is the advantage of this interactive mode? To test the functionalities. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python. For example, if you doesn't know about any particular Python functionalities, you can just type in the interactive mode and check what output it will give. Based on that, you can analyze, right, what is that for. And for learning Python for a beginner or the learner, this interactive mode works better. Batch mode. Batch mode means this interactive mode is not preferred for developing applications in Python. Here for batch mode, here we write a batch of statements within the editors or IDEs, within the editors or IDEs. And save it by using .py extension. So here we write a batch of statements within the editors or IDs and save it by using .py extension and later submit it to Python. Batch of within the editors, save it by using .py extension, later submit it to Python. So what are the various editors or IDEs? What are the various editors? Various editors where we write the Python code. Various editors where we write the Python code, right? Yes. Notepad. Within the notepad, we write the Python code and create a .py file. Edit plus. Within the edit plus also, right? The first two are for Windows. The next two are for Linux. VI and Nano. The first two within the Windows environment, we write the Python code and create a .py files, and this VI and Nano editors, right? VI and Nano for right Linux environment. And what are the various IDs? What are the various IDs, right? Yes. PyCharm. Second is like PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, right? Yes. VS Code. So I'm going to show you in real time. We use these are the IDs we are going to work on. We are going to write the Python code and execute the Python code on this IDEs, integrated development environment. Among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one, mostly used or mostly preferred, right? PyCharm is the mostly used. PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans. Okay. So you may ask, you may get a query, right? Why these many IDs for Python? Why not one or two IDs? Because Python is used for different environments like the for automation applications, for big data, for data science, for networking, for animations, for graphics, for all this, right? Different IDs are preferred. For data science, Jupyter Notebook is mostly preferred. Spider is preferred. For big data, Spider, Jupyter Notebook is preferred. And for typical web applications, PyCharm, VS Code is mostly used, right? So different environments use different IDs. I'm going to show you on different IDs, right? How to write your code, how to download, how to install, how to write the code and execute the code in different IDs. So later, once we are done with a little bit of technical content, I'll show you about these IDs, right? So now developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application, right? Within a editor. Developing the first Python application within a editor. Example like Notepad. Example like Notepad. Open Notepad and type the following Python code. Open Notepad and type the following Python code. As of now, I didn't discuss anything about Python basics, right? Yes. So I'll take two values, x as 10, y as 20, right? I want to perform some kind of arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. X plus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y. X plus y, x minus y, x into y, and x by y. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So if you can see, a message is given by the online team, DURGASOFT, where you can see that as demo video of last 2 days, course content of Python and Python full stack, and the course payment details and their contact details of their right. And the class time is from 9 to 10, right? Daily it starts at 9 o'clock, 9 to 10. So here, developing the first Python application within editor like Notepad, open Notepad and type the following. I am performing arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Just open Notepad. Type your Python code in this. Yes. Save it. Control dot py. Save as sample1 dot py and now submit this file. And now submit this file to Python as submit this file to Python as right. Now just in the search type cmd and go to the command prompt and type Python and don't say enter. If you say enter, it will go to interactive mode. Just specify the path where your file is available. So within the C drive, Python 9 p.m. Within that sample1 dot py, sample1 dot py, say enter, right. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Okay, addition, subtraction 10 minus 20, 10 into 20 and 10 by 20. Yes. So this is how you are going to write. Just type Python and specify the entire path, the file name, in which folder and in which drive, right? Just yes. Here, what is your observation? Here, we are writing the code. We are writing the code at one place. Means within the notepad, you are writing the code and executing at the other place. Where you are executing within the command prompt. But to write and execute, but to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE. We have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, using which we can write and execute at the same place. Yes. How to open this IDLE and how to write the code and execute the code, right? The same code I'll copy. So just taking two values, performing arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. How to open this IDLE? Where to write the code and execute the code, right? Just in the search, type IDLE. You can see this IDLE Python 3.11, right? It gets opened like this. Python shell gets opened, Python 3.11.5. Or you can just go to this start programs, check in this all the installed programs. Python, you can see 3.11 in that IDLE Python 3.11, right? Okay, this Python shell gets opened. Here, file, new file, you say. File, new file. And write your code here and execute. Run option is there here, run itself. So file, save first. Okay, sample2.py. Okay, run module. Check this. Addition x plus 5, 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. So here once again observe, you can write the code here itself, run here itself, run module, right? Yes. So later I'll show you how to work on IDEs, right? Later I'll show you how to work on IDEs like PyCharm, Jupyter, Spider, VS Code, right? Once we are done with a little bit of technical content. So now Now I'll discuss about introduction to this data types. Data types and variables in Python. Just I'll take 10 minutes more. Data types and variables in Python. Every organization, if you talk about every organization, use case has got data and operations. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. Operations represented using functions. Okay, data using data types or variables. Operations using functions. Operations using functions, right? For example, any organization, if you take, for example, if you take a bank, example of a bank. Bank consists of customers and employees, right? Customers has got a data like customer account number, customer name, address, balance, branch, and operations like a deposit operation, withdraw operation. Yes. Operations represented using functions like deposit operation, withdraw operations, transfer operations, right? Okay. Now, observe this diagram, right? Yes. If we compare, try to observe this. If we compare C, C++, Java comparison with Python. C, C++, Java comparison with Python. Python supports dynamic data types. It supports dynamic data types. What do you mean by, okay, I'll come back to this. In other programming language like C, C++, Java, if we are defining a variable like x as 10, compulsorily I need to say int x, right? Y equal to 4.5, I need to say compulsory like float y. Z equal to some HELL, hello, like string Z I need to say. But in Python, directly I can say x as 10, y as 4.5, Z as hello. So here, without defining this data type, this variable x can't be created. Without defining this variable data type float, we cannot define this. Without this data type, right, this variable can't be created in other programmings. But in Python, directly we say x as 10. What kind of variable x is means here, be it based on the data type defining, it is integer. What type of variable y is here means float, because you have defined it as float. But what kind of variable x is here? What value you are assigning to it based on the value assigned. If you're assigning integer value, integer variable gets created. So there is a function in Python, type function. Type of x is what type? Integer. Why it is integer? Because you are assigned a integer value. Type of y is what type? Yes. Type of y is what type? Float type. Type of z is what type? String type. So okay, fine. So dynamic data type supported by Python. So to discuss more on this, right, it's data types, right? I'll be discussing 4 cases. Observe these 4 cases here, right? So from here onwards, I want the sessions to be interactive, right? Yeah, I want you people to unmute yourself and try to give your responses, right? Through voice or through chat panel, anything is fine. Case one, defining a variable like x equal to 10. Internally, one object with value 10 is going to get created with some address. The address is taken by x. What x is storing? Everyone try to answer what x is storing. Don't say x is storing 10. Don't say x is storing 10. X stores the address. X stores this address. Three things you need to clearly understand here. Three things you need to understand here, right? Yes. Please be in mute. So here if I say print x means it goes to this address and prints whatever content at that address. It goes to this address and prints whatever content present at that address. Okay, print x means prints the content at that address. What is it? 10. At that address, what is the content? 10. So I want to print this address. There is a function called id of x. Prints the address of x. Address of x is 103070. Print type of x. Prints the data type of x. Prints the data type of x is what type? Integer type. Because you assigned the integer value, right? So three things: how to print the content 10, how to print the address, and how to print the data type. Type of x means data type of x is integer. Understood this case one, right, everyone? Yes. Any queries here? Print x, id of x, type of x. Now case two. Now from here on, right, everyone try to respond. You can unmute yourself and try to give your responses. Case two. X value 10 and y is 20. How many objects will be created here? Yes. X is 10, y is 20. How many objects? Two objects, right? Yes. One object with value 10 and one other object with value 20. It is going to have its address. So going to have its address. This address given to x, this address given to y. Now try to answer what is print x? Print x is 10. So if you got any background noise, you can just type your response in the chat. I'll be just checking with that output, right? Print address of x. Address 103070, right? Yes, yes. Type of x is what type? Yes. Type of x is what type?
Integer.
Integer type. Yes. Print y. Next, observe this. Print y. What is that? 20. Address of y. Type of y. Yes. Integer, right? Two different variables x and y with two different values 10, 20. Then two different objects gets created with two different addresses. right? Yes. Now observe this case 3. Observe this case 3, right? Everyone try to give your responses for this case 3. X value is 10, y is 10. How many objects will be created here? Yes, everyone. How many objects will be created here?
2 objects.
2.
Observe carefully here, everyone. Here only one object gets created. Only one object with some address. That address is given to X. Only one object, not two objects. The same object address is given to Y. Because before creating object for Y, it checks any object with value 10 if it is already available. Again, it won't create. The same address will be given to Y. X is 10, Y is 10 means don't think the two objects with value 10 gets created. Only one object with 10, its address is given to X and Y. X is 10, Y is 10, Z also 10. How many objects? Yes.
3.
Only one object. 10, 10, 10. 3 objects won't be created. Only one object, its address is given to X, Y, and Z. If X is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30, in such case?
3.
3 objects. But here content is same, only one object, one address. All the X, Y, and Z, they're sharing the same content 10. They're sharing the same address, right? Print X or print Y or print Z. They are printing the same content 10. They are sharing the same address and the content. Address of X, address of Y, address of Z, all are same. Type of X, type of Y, and type of Z will be integer type only. If you are modify the value of X, then Y and Z also will change the address or not, means yes. No, Y and Z they cannot change. Only X will change the address. Only X changes the address. Now observe this case for just I'll take 5 minutes more, right? Just observe this case for I'll just show you all these 4 cases practically. X value is 10. X only again 20, not XY, X and X only. How many objects is created here, right? Hello?
2. 1.
2.
Two objects gets created for 10 and for 20. Two objects. That is fine here. Now, if I say print X, what is the X value it prints now? Whether it prints 10 or 20 or both, or what is your output?
Latest one.
Always it prints the
First
latest value, 20 it prints. Address of X also the latest one. Address of X is 104080. Type of X is integer. Is there any possibility of printing this, the X value, the old X value? Always the last step. What is there any possibility of printing that value 10? What happens to the previous object 10?
By printing the ID.
What happens to the previous object 10 and its address? Okay. To know what happened to the previous object 10, whether it is removed or updated or what, you need to know about a small concept called garbage collector. Okay, about those garbage collector, these things, right? In which scenario we use this case for yes. I'll show you practically all these 4 classes. In the tomorrow session, I'll show you all these 4 cases practically, right? Yes. And I'll show you all these 4 cases practically. And I'll discuss about this garbage collector, right? So tomorrow also you can attend the session same time at 9 p.m. using the same link, right, everyone? But day after tomorrow, the link will be changing. Tomorrow, Friday, for this Saturday, we'll have a session, right? Instead of giving a gap, as these are demo sessions, right? Instead of giving a gap, tomorrow you can attend, but Saturday, the link will be changing. Tomorrow also you can attend the session using the same link and same time, right? Saturday, the link will be changing. So you all need to get enrolled, right? I said you'll be getting for Python, it is for only Python, right? Once again, 4 advanced and application oriented modules, like nearly 70 hours to 75 hours I'll be spending. It's for fee structure is just 5,000, right? It's an offer batch. Plus, if you want to go for full stack, I said full stack. So apart from this Python, you will get knowledge on this web development technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript. Plus Django framework. Django framework, right? With 15 to 20 applications creations plus project. So for all this 7K, but combined like it's 12K. But if you take as total package, right? Total package at a time with a single payment, it's 10K, right? So any other queries you got, anyone? You can just go to the course content. It is given in the chart. The payments details is given in the chart. Yesterday videos links are given in the chart. You can go through them. So once you get enrolled, you will be getting the videos to your Google Drive. Every day, the video will be added to your Google Drive. Notes also you'll be getting. Assignments, tasks you'll be getting. A WhatsApp group is going to get created, right? So, and people who go for certification program, right? Yes, people who go for certification program, right? I'll be showing you that what is that course content, how that performance is measured, right? Everything. So if you see people who go for Django, yes. So these are the Django batches I have handled previously. All these are the Django batches. Django apps creation, nearly 15 to 20 or more than 20. So this is my project 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 20. Any batch if you take Django apps too. My project 23, 24, 25 also, right? Yes. So with clear notes, step by step, right? Clear notes you will be getting, right? Fine. So this is the course content, right? Python basics, operations, operators, IDs, flow control, strings, collections, list, tuples, sets, dictionaries, functions, modules, that is, okay, packages, errors and exception handling, like file handling, object-oriented programming concept, regular expressions, database connections, Python datetime module, OS module, advanced concepts, GUI programming, and Excel workbook, big data analytics, and introduction to data science, right? Django, right? Django views, those who go for Django, introduction, Django frameworks. And I was talking about this introduction to this pandas, NumPy, and Matplotlib in brief. Django framework, right? Yes. Django project architecture, each and every .py file in brief. Django apps creations, Django views, templates, yes. Django admin, how to use that models. And advanced concepts like ORM, class-based views, form validation, rendering forms, multi-select field, right? Embedded video. And UI technologies like HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript will be discussed, right? Yes, any queries from your side, anyone, right? Can attend session tomorrow, same time using the same link. Yes. Any sessions from, any queries from your side? Okay. Fine, so I want the sessions to be more interactive in the tomorrow session. Everyone try to respond through voice, or you can type your response through chat, right? So I'm stopping for now. We'll continue tomorrow, right? Yes.